Hi everyone, we're about to start this eve of match press conference. We've got on our far left Rhys Patchell, number 10 for tomorrow's game. Next to him Hallam Amos, number 15, and assistant coach Neil Jenkins. So we're going to open the floor for some questions. Please remember to raise your hand and wait for the microphone to ask your question. First question, guys.
I suppose a question for all three of you. We could start with Neil. What are the overriding feelings now going into this bronze medal match? Warren Gatland said, you know, in most circumstances, it's the game that nobody wants. But given this is Warren's final game in charge, and you've got a chance to beat the All Blacks the first time in 66 years, what does the game mean to you?
Yeah, it's obviously, you know, I'm not going to lie about it, it's difficult, there's no doubt in that. We all want to be playing tomorrow, we do, the All Blacks do, all the players, everyone involved certainly does, but it is what it is, you know, you can't turn back time. The Springboks, you know, just edged us last Sunday, and obviously this, you know, we all know this game's in place, and we played it 8 years ago and it's pretty tough, but look, as you said, it's Gats' last game, it's the All Blacks. Probably brings a totally different perspective to it all, and the boys been pretty good this week. I think obviously disappointed with Sunday, but obviously looking forward to tomorrow and turning up and putting up a good show, and hopefully you know, giving the All Blacks certainly a good game, and it'd be nice to get that W, as you said, for the first time in 60 odd years.
Yeah, it's exciting, I guess. You know, obviously we're all gutted, both boys on the pitch and those of us who were in the stand last Sunday. You know, it was so tight there at the end, and I thought we had the momentum and could have nicked it, but there we are. But you know, it's exciting. It's another chance to pull on the red jersey, and will be a lot of the boys' last, or some of the boys at least, last performance in a World Cup. So yeah, it's still a big occasion, and whenever you play the All Blacks, it's always fantastic atmosphere and stuff. So it's exciting, and hopefully, you know, we can chuck the ball around a bit and play some good stuff. Yeah.
Essentially what the boys have said, you know, it is what it is, and we are where we are, but tomorrow night is another big occasion, and you know, we've got to turn up.
You know, you've been there throughout. Could you sort of sum up what Warren has done for Welsh rugby and what sort of legacy he will leave?
Oh, you know, as I said it before, said it was last week and the week before, he's an incredible man, not just his rugby ability and his knowledge, but as a person, he's an unbelievable person, and you know, I'd like to think he's left a fantastic legacy in terms of his results and the success he's had since he's been here since 2008, and obviously the development of a lot of, you know, good players coming through. Still got quite a lot of youngsters in the squad this moment in time as well. Yeah, there's a couple that, you know, maybe it is their last World Cup, who knows. But there's a lot of players that will be here in the next World Cup and hopefully the one after as well. But you know, his knowledge and what he's done for our game is immense, really. And his, you know, thank you is certainly not enough as far as I'm concerned. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, he's a god. He's a god of the game, and he's an incredible person. And I've been very, very lucky to be involved with him over the period since he started in 2008.
Just a question for Hallam and Rhys. You were both on the 2016 tour of New Zealand. What is it about the All Blacks that makes them so dangerous from those, and what can you learn from potentially some of the experiences you had on that trip?
I think, well, on that trip, first two tests, definitely we gave it a good go. You know, they hadn't lost at Eden Park, still haven't since before I was born. So there is a certain stigma about going over there. But I thought the first two tests we did well, and you know, we were leading at 60 in the first test. It was quite close in the second, so I don't think it's the All Blacks. It's just the fact as a team and as individuals, they're very good players. But I mean, I think we are as well, and we'll back our skills tomorrow night. And yeah, hopefully, you know, we get a bit of luck and we can, you know, have a good game.
You just got to keep going. You got to keep going. It's a bit like the tide. At some point, you're going to be crashing up against it, and you got to work like mad to stay in the game, and then eventually, you know, there'll be an opportunity where it'll turn, and you'll have your little bit of momentum, and you've got to make the most of it. And as Hallam says, the boys put up a good fight in the first 2-1, and up until half time in the third test as well. You know, they blew us off the park in that third test. And that's the way rugby goes at some points. But you just got to be ready at all times. You got to be in the game for 80 minutes. You sit there and give them time, and they're very good. But you put people under pressure, and pressure makes funny things happen. So that's the big thing for me is you got to keep going at them both sides of the ball.
Neil, can I just check? Dan's obviously on the bench tomorrow, but he wasn't here today. Is everything all right with him?
Yeah, no, he's fine. Yeah, no, we obviously did team run up the training ground. No, he's fine. He's just wanted to do it there, so we kicked there with him this morning, and he asked if he could possibly just do that this morning and not come down on the bus journey and everything. But yeah, no, he's fine. He's done his work as he normally does. He's trained as he normally has for the last few days, as of the rest of the boys. But yeah, no, he's 100%. He's fine.
Just for Hallam and Rhys as well, it's Warren's last game. Maybe just a few words from you guys on what he's done for you now. He's given everyone in this squad, apart from Hallam, win their first cap.
Technically, Rob McBride gave me my first cap, but, you know.
Busted.
No, he's been, as Jink says, he's incredible as a coach, his understanding of the game. He's incredible as a person. I think the biggest thing you find with Warren is he's got this uncanny ability to work out what people need, whether somebody needs an arm around them and needs their tyres pumped up, or whether somebody needs a bit of a pin to take a bit out of them and have a bit of a rocket for the weekend. Yeah, he's been great for me, certainly over the past couple of years where I've been a bit more involved with the national squad than I've been previously. Yeah, and just hopefully, you know, he carries on the success that he's had here wherever he goes, because he certainly deserves that.
Yeah, I think he's got an amazing ability to instill confidence within the group. You see it's kind of dissipate. No, that's not the right word. I don't know. It's seeped down into the players now, and you've got the senior boys who have sort of taken that mantle on, and Alan Wynne, Ken, Foxy, they bought into that massively, and it's throughout the squad now, and that's, I think, almost entirely thanks to him. He's very good at building that up throughout the week. He's very good at getting us emotionally right for games, and when we are, we're very, very hard to beat, as we saw last weekend. So he's been fantastic for Welsh rugby. The success over the last decade has been, you know, almost unprecedented, and that's in a large part thanks to him.
Just on that theme, if I could ask a question for the three of you again. The tributes, as you can imagine, are pouring in back home as well. Obviously, it's hard to cram it in from 12 years, but could you sum up Warren's achievements in 3 words each? What was he as a man?
I'll just give you one: incredible. That's what he is to me. He's unbelievable. I'm not going to lie. He's different level as far as I'm concerned. So he's, as the boys already mentioned there, I've said it myself, he's taken the boys to a new level. There's no doubt in that. Belief that you can beat anyone on any given day, anywhere in the world. And I suppose being Welsh, that's not something, as you guys would probably know, it's not something that's easily achieved, because probably we're not quite like that back at home. You know, we sort of maybe come under the radar a little bit and a little bit shy in that sense, but he's certainly taken that out of the boys, and you know, there's a belief in no matter where you are, no matter who you're playing against, you have the ability to win. And for me, he's just an incredible rugby man, really, and rugby person and person.
He's changed expectations.
Yeah, I don't know if I can nail it in 3, because he's brought so much to our game, but yeah, I think it's that belief that he puts in the boys that's most important, and that hopefully will carry on now. That's like a permanent change that he's made to Welsh rugby.
Neil, it was good to see Lee out there kicking around today. Is he progressing well through his HIA protocols? Obviously, no, he's not involved,
yeah.
But how's he doing?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's just, you know, it is just sadly, obviously, in terms of, you know, being out in terms of the game and stuff, and obviously the concussion. But same again, it gives this young man an opportunity as well, who's been outstanding for us when he has played for us as well. So, but yeah, look, he's done his protocols as he normally does, and just going through the week as he normally would, really. And he just asked if he can come along today, and it's, as we were on a bit of a banter this morning, really saying the kicking club is dwindling, like, so me and Steve were going to do a little bit, but didn't quite come to that. But no, look, it is what it is, and yeah, he'll go through his protocols, and he'll be right in the amount of time that he needs.
Neil, what's the mood like being as a group of coaches this week? It's the end of an era. It's the last game that you're preparing for. Could you just talk a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, we haven't said a great deal really, because obviously, you know, the disappointment of last Sunday, but immediately afterwards, you know, Muckers was straight into it saying, look, you know, what an opportunity this week provides as well. It's our last game. Try and enjoy it as well as best we possibly can, and we tend to go out tonight and have a couple of quiet cokes amongst the staff and that tonight, so and the coaches, so that'll be good, and we'll have a bit of banter tonight, and you know, a final sort of pre-match meal for us, as we call it. But look, it is what it is, and life goes on, nothing ever stays the same, and as I said, Gats has done an incredible job, so has Sean, so has Robin, you know, Rob obviously, and now Steve coming in now as well, so look, they've all been outstanding at what they do and what they've given the game really, and you know, I think we can only thank them for that, and you know, wherever they go, and obviously Muggers going on to Leinster, Gats going back to the Chiefs, and obviously the Lions. You know, these guys will be at the forefront of them teams, there's no doubt in, and Sean obviously going to France as well, so look, you know, they're outstanding in what they do, and they'll be in the game for a long, long time to come, there's no doubt in that, but you know, we'll enjoy tonight, we'll enjoy tomorrow, and enjoy the weekend before we go home, that's for sure.
Hallam, you obviously had a good run of games at full-back in Argentina last summer. Are you looking forward to getting back in that 15 jersey?
Yeah, it's where I want to play long term. That's why I've signed for the Blues, is to play there. And there's not many better games to test yourself in than against the All Blacks. You know, they're hurting after last weekend as we are, so that can be dangerous sometimes. But yeah, it's a brilliant opportunity and one that I'm excited about. I think we'll hopefully run it a bit this week, which I'd like to think is one of the strengths of my game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, it was good in Argentina. I'm getting a run, and it's been a bit stop-start since then with injuries and the like. But yeah, it's great to get back in that jersey and hopefully put my mark on the game.
Any questions in Japanese? Then thank you very much, gentlemen.